Hey guys, welcome back to Fantasy Tipped. Julian here with some more regular season content. This is the week 1 drops video. It's an episode that I put out every single week of the fantasy season, and we talk about which players you should consider cutting from your team to make room for better players that may be on your waiver wire or free agency. Now, this year I'm going to be trying something new. I'm going to be adding a trending down section. Players that are not drops and also may never be drops, but are players that probably were drafted too early or are owned in a lot of leagues, and unfortunately the upside just may not be as high as we had hoped. Before we jump into it, guys, drop a like and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And if you do want to take your support to the next level, do consider joining YouTube below or Patreon, links in the description below, guys. And if you do that, you get access to early access videos. So as soon as I upload a video, you get access, and you also get the DM with me one-on-one, ask me any fantasy hockey questions you need. So definitely be sure to join that Patreon, and it supports the channel, which is awesome. Now let's jump into that trending down section that I was talking about, guys, and I hope you enjoy it. Let me know the feedback down in the comments. Let me know if this is a section that you like. If not, I could just go back to just drops, but I think that this is something that could provide quite a bit of value. And so let's look at some forwards that are trending down. And first I got Sam Reinhart. Now, Sam Reinhart will probably never be a drop. Let's be real, guys. But Sam Reinhart did definitely, his value at least took a hit when Barkov got injured. He does play with Barkov generally 5-on-5 and on the power play. He feeds Reinhart the puck, and Reinhart scores a lot of goals. Without Barkov, that could definitely affect the amount of goals that Reinhart scores this year. That being said, he's still one of the top studs in Florida right now, and will definitely be getting top line and top power play time. So you shouldn't be too worried. He just may not be quite as amazing as last year. Valeri Nichushkin is someone who's also trending down. In the most recent Colorado lines, Valeri Nichushkin was not practicing on Colorado's top power play. He is practicing, though, on the second line with Nelson and Landeskog, which isn't horrible, but for Nichushkin to have elite value, he needs to be on that top power play unit, and usually that takes Colorado a few weeks to kind of figure that out and switch Lehkonen for him on that top unit, or an injury in Colorado. Those seem to happen pretty often as well. Frank Vatrano is also someone who's trending down. He's actually only playing on the third line right now. And that third line has Killorn and Ryan Strome. It's not the worst line in the world, but it's definitely not the best. He's also only playing on power play 2. Now, Anaheim, their power play 2 is actually pretty stacked with guys like McTavish on it. So in my opinion, it's possible that Anaheim ends up rolling both power play units evenly, which definitely wouldn't hurt Vatrano's value. But Vatrano definitely is going to have trouble putting up as many points as he has in the past, being on a third line. His peripherals should still be decent, but definitely it's hurting his value. He just went undrafted in a 12-man league that I have, which says a lot. Next is Alexis Lafreniere, and a lot of people projected Lafreniere to potentially get a look on Power Play 1 this year. At the moment, it doesn't really look like he's going to. If Miller or Panarin misses Game 1, yeah, he'll be there, but when they were practicing with everybody healthy, Lafreniere was not on Power Play 1. They have an all-veteran power play, Zibanejad, Trocheck, Miller, Panarin, and Adam Fox, and that's how it's going to stay, unfortunately, which really limits Lafreniere's value, even though he is playing in the top 6. Matias Nicelli is also someone that was trending down because they had Max Domi on that top line with Matthew Knies and Austin Matthews. Because Scott Lawton got injured for a little bit, they're shifting Domi back to center and Matias Nicelli to the wing with Matthews and Knies. It wasn't a good sign that they didn't have him there to begin with, but he is there now, so definitely hang on to him. But if he loses that spot again, you could say he's probably going to be a drop. For defensemen, Jakob Chychrun is trending down because he is not on Power Play 1 in Washington. At least when they were practicing with the full squad, Chychrun was on Power Play 2 and not on Power Play 1 like he was last year. Both him and Carlson were there last year, but at least to open the season, it looks like Chychrun's not going to be there. Will he probably get on power play 1 at some point? Yeah. But right now, that's definitely scary for his fantasy value. Same thing with Thomas Harley. A lot of people, myself included, thought that Thomas Harley would be opening the season on the top power play unit in Dallas. It looks like we were wrong. At least for now, Heiskanen is the top power play defenseman. I don't know how long that's going to last. I think Dallas is kind of shooting themselves in the foot because Harley is significantly better at it. But for now, his value is trending down a little bit until he does get on that top unit. Drew Doughty's value is also trending down because, like the end of last season and the playoffs, LA is rolling with a 5-forward power play, which leaves Drew Doughty on the second power play unit, which definitely hurts his fantasy value, and his point output this year could be significantly lower than we've ever seen. Zane Parek's fantasy value, unfortunately, is also trending down because at the moment, Mackenzie Weegar is maintaining his spot on the top power play unit. As long as Weegar keeps that spot, Zane Parek's value is pretty limited, playing only on power play 2. I do believe they're going to try him on power play 1 at some point this year. It's just not right now. And then finally, Tony DeAngelo. With Schaefer making the team, it seems unlikely that DeAngelo will actually get power play 1 time. It remains to be seen. It's possible that DeAngelo still gets the top power play, but it doesn't bode well for him that Schaefer is probably going to make the team here. And then there's players who are outright drops, and I don't have too many of them since the season hasn't even started yet, but Brock Faber being 64% rostered is absolutely crazy. I get that he's first pairing in Minnesota in all likelihood, but he's actually not getting any power play time at all. Zeev Buem is on the first unit, and then they have their captain Jared Spurgeon on the second unit. Faber is not getting power play time, and he only got 29 points last year. So without power play time, it's not like he's able to put up 40 points anyway. On top of that, his peripherals aren't anything to write home about. That's an easy drop unless you're in like the super deep league. He could be maybe like 5% owned, maybe 10 if he really exceeds expectations, but 64% owned doesn't make any sense to me. Alexander Barkov is obviously another easy drop. He's probably going to miss the whole season. So unless you have a lot of IR spots in your league, easy drop. Mike Matheson, someone who I don't think is going to have a great fantasy year in Montreal. At best, he's power play 2 with Noah Dobson, but I don't really see him having too much value. Ever since Lane Hudson took over that power play 1 spot, his value has been significantly limited, and his peripherals aren't really good enough to keep him in the fantasy value conversation. Brent Burns as well. He's third pairing in power play 2 in Colorado. He is an amazing player and had an amazing career, but he's like 40 now, and I don't really see him doing any damage this year. He's not going to get on the top power play unless Makar gets injured. And finally, Justin Falk. Only 32 points last year while getting power play 1 time for a good chunk of the year. Is not that great. His peripherals were okay, but not really a good floor like he had in years past. And if you're in a super deep league, he might still be somewhat viable, but he's definitely not someone I'm excited about, and definitely does not need to be owned in 26% of leagues. And that's all I got for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think down in the comments, and I'll catch you all in the next episode of Fantasy Tipped.